morning, Abby.
Hi.
Hope you enjoyed the weekend and enjoyed the cooler weather, at least for a short bit before it starts getting hot again this week.
And this week we wanted to talk about something that we've been talking about internally, which is titles. And they matter for both candidates as well as employers for different reasons.
Yeah, I think we hear from candidates a lot of times when they come in with their resumes and talking about how they've had a difficult time getting to interviews for particular positions they feel qualified for. And some of the time we notice the titles that they have on their resumes are very unique or unique to the organization that they came from.
And we totally get that it can feel uncomfortable changing your title. If your title at your job is HR analyst, it can feel a little disingenuous to put something like HR generalist, but it is actually getting you screened out just because hiring managers are looking through stacks and stacks of resumes and they're really skimming. And if your title doesn't align with what they're looking for, you're not being called for interviews.
And it goes back to what we talked about with resumes and keywords. You may be screened out with an applicant tracking system because you're not hitting the title that they're looking for.
Yeah, they never see your resume. They're just typing in HR generalist. Right. And since you are not an HR generalist by title, your resume is not coming to that pile at all.
Yeah, and that recruiter's looking for those quick keywords. So I think it'd be interesting to hear what people think in terms of adjusting titles on a resume, but I think our general philosophy is if you feel that it's not accurately demonstrating the work that you were doing, and it feel like if you change the title that was something a little bit more mainstream,
yep,
that's okay.
Yeah, and I would think you would coach your references so that if someone asked, hey, is this person function in this title? If it's true, your references should be comfortable doing that.
Right, yeah, of course. If you're a generalist and you think and always want to be a manager, but you haven't been there, obviously that's inflating the title and the role and responsibilities. But if it maybe is more at that business partner level, or you're a smaller company and they just don't have that title, but again, you can demonstrate that. Yeah. Generally, think it's okay to.
For employers as well, like if you're titling your job something super unique, most candidates search by keywords as well. They're looking up either HR blank or some kind of specialty that they're in. So if you're titling your job, people operations is okay, but there's some titles like happiness officer that we would maybe recommend against.
Anyway, we'd love to hear other thoughts out there, other recruiters, hiring managers, other HR professionals, corporate side, and your thoughts and if you've ever had that experience of calling a reference and finding out that the title was different and your takeaways from that.
Yeah, and follow along, #humanjobsearch, and we'll see you next week.